Greetings and salutations, dear viewers. Get ready for some fantastic content. Hello, fellow enthusiasts. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Nekketsu Gozaurer. This series is also sometimes titled as Matchless Passion Gozaurer, is a 51-episode animated television series and third-generation Eldran franchise funded by Tomy after Genki Bakuhatsu Ganbaruger and produced by Sunrise. It aired in Japan from March 3, 1993 to February 23, 1994. The story for this entry is that a group of elementary school children are given command of the series title Mecha, and their efforts to defend the Earth from the hands of the Mechanization Empire, named the Machine Empire in the Filipino dubbed version, which was led by Kikaishin, the boss of this organization himself. It firstly introduces a female pilot, additional pilots and jet mode. In addition, it is the first season to start with 4 pilots, having all members having the same bracelet, and introduce a super robot piloted by multiple pilots. Let's transition to plot and uncover its significance. A year has passed after the 3 great demons are successfully defeated by Great Ganbaruger, as well as Gokudo being defeated by God Raijin O and Yoku Satan. Shin Hyuga and the Earth Defense class are now in the first year of middle school, and Kotaro and the members of the Ganba team are now in the 5th grade of Ozora Elementary. But it is not long that a month has passed when the Mechanization Empire invades the solar system in space, and in a matter of moments they take over and convert Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter and Mars into mechanical forms, and now, the next planet they seek to mechanize is Earth. However, Earth's only ancient protector and soldier of light, Eldran, stands in their progress. To fight this new menace, he gives the 3rd generation of Eldran pilots Kenichi Minezuki, Hirami Tachibana and Shinobu Saoka a dinosaur-themed mecha, each Kenichi Minezuki, Moktra Hirami Tachibana, Land Steego Shinobu Saoka, Thunder Braccio. The 3 components of the series titled protagonist mecha, Go-Saurer. Eventually, as this entry progresses, 2 auxiliary mecha each assigned a pilot, later Appia Magna Tyranno, piloted by Tarashirigan Grantups, piloted by Yuji Hayama. Prepare yourself for an in-depth analysis of in this section. Grade 6 pilot of Moktra. Kenichi Minezuki is the 6th grade pilot of Moktra and main pilot of Go-Saurer. His parents run a sports store named Minezuki Sports. He is an active and cheerful boy who likes to skateboard and is good at sports, but like his 2 Eldran predecessors, he is having academic problem issues. He is friends with Saikyō and Kazutaka, with whom he always plays soccer. However, he is the most annoying troublemaker who always causes lots of fights with Shinobu, Goro, Taro, or anyone else in school. He dreamed that a giant gear crashed onto his home, which converted him very strangely after Great Ganbaruger saved Earth months prior. It was at this very one time that he was cursed by the Mechanical Empire into a mechanical cyborg for a few days, temporarily for some time, but after a brief and bruised battle with the combined life forces and powers of the 4 Great Machine King's new form, the Machine Great King, he almost died and did return to being his human self with General Taker's matter restoration device, made by the Defense Force. After a harsher battle between themselves and the Emperor, the most powerful Kikaishin, he graduated from Harker's Elementary along with the Grade 6 pilot of Land Steego. Hirami Tachibana is the pilot of Land Steego who has a hobby for writing and drawing manga. His mother's name is Saikyō Tachibana, a klutzy doctor. His father is never revealed in this series, and it could be possible he married Saikyō before Hirami himself was born. It is revealed that he is good at cooking, and it is believed that he has feelings for Kumiko Tomobe, whom he stalks as a subject for his manga drawing. Grade 6 pilot of Thunder Braccio. The first female Eldran pilot who operates Thunder Braccio. A tomboyish 6th grade girl who often argues with Kenichi. She is learning kendo, and often spars with her grandmother, who is also an arcade gamer. Like with the case of Hirami, her father is also never seen in this series. Grade 6 pilot of Sour Jet. the very angry 6th grade class president of Class 6-2 who has a serious demeanor and a very dangerous and explosive temper, which causes him to go on a rampage at school and cause lots of fights with Kenichi and anyone else. At this time, his behavior seems to be quite rougher than a child could have in his lifestyle. Once, he was absolutely mad and made Taro, Yoji and Kenichi return to their usual robots by piloting all three by himself due to the three piloting the wrong robots, which was the case when Taro pilots Go-Saurer, Yoji pilots Mechanization and Kenichi pilots Gozaurer because of an argument and strategy. He is the pilot of Kenichi's, Hiromi's and Shinobu's Mecha's special vehicle transportation formation, Sauer Jet. In addition, he is the artilleryman of Thunder Braccio and is in the command room in charge of weapons. Pilot of Magna Tyranno. Also nicknamed at times as Kinta. The judo club member who is refined, yet aggressive and the toughest. He lost in the finals to the same opponent for 3 consecutive years in judo tournaments since he was in the 4th grade when Reijin-O was fighting the Genki Empire, but in the last tournament he participated in the fight for the despite being in the middle of a match. He has feelings for Yuko Mizuhara when he was practicing judo every day in life. Kinta is the pilot of the series' first piloted auxiliary, Magna Tyranno. Pilot of Grantups. An indecisive nerd and teacher's pet, who is a real bookworm and the heir to the elite Hyuma clan, whom all have the same type of hairstyle and glasses. Personally, he has a crush on the class April 26, 2024 homeroom teacher, Yuri Yaoi. He is the pilot of the Baoiga that soon, on the same episode of its appearance, permanently becomes Grantups, the second piloted auxiliary of the series, also known as Eri. The leader of her own Sauer brace is equipped with a scramble command function that instantly triggers the transformation of the classroom and most of the school into the command center and the Sauer jet, and occupies the main command seat in the command center. She has a big ego, which leads to situations like dragging the into a movie production to fulfill her dreams of becoming an idol. The professor of the Not only did she help develop Baoiga Gozaurer, but she also writes the program for King Go-Saurer. She is usually poised, but lashes out when she can't handle enough. She thinks failure can sometimes lead to success. Strangely enough, the code looks like basic, so that may have helped. She also was the one who first worked out the functions of Gozaurer. She is the Kiyama family cousin of Tsutomu Kiyama, Jin Hyuga's classmate. A boy who is very good with mechanical things. He helped with the design and construction of Baoiga. He seems to possibly be more than a friend with Tokoko, often helping her make stuff. His father seems to have some type of job involving into fixing cars. Also known as Bon, the second of the terrible trio with Kazuchika and Kenichi who wears a blue cap. He is tall for his age, the third member of Kenichi's trio known as Chobi. He has a shaved head, a round bald spot on the right side, a low back and buck teeth, and wears a striped shirt and shorts. He is a short troublemaker who is good at soccer in school. He belongs to the soccer club and often has a ball in his hand. He also has a quick escape, and has been a decoy for the mechanical four heavenly kings along with Kenichi and Saikyō, the first of the female trio. She is more of a crybaby than Kumiko and Haru. She was quite short for a 6th grader, and it looks like that she has some sort of relationship between her and Taro. Also known as Koko, the second of the female trio. She was once stalked by Hiromi as a subject for art, but when he gets hurt she gets around her feelings to treat him, and in fact seems to possibly care about him after that. The nurse, as such, among the kids. The third member of the female trio. Her timidity seems to be expressed in her introversion. She is the tallest one in the class, and while Bon seemed to have a crush on her due to her wearing a red raincoat during a very rainy day, and so, in the end it appeared to have amounted to nothing, plausibly leaving her as the only one of the three likely not to have a potential boyfriend. Also known as One, the bright firstborn of the Soto twins who talks a lot. Also known as Two, the second born of the Soto twins, also known as Mobo, An overeater. During the stay in the dinosaurs era, he ends up for a short while adopting a baby dinosaur which hatched from the egg he was about to eat. In the end, he has to leave it behind along with the dinosaurs. A heavyset girl. She takes care of the class's pet, an iguana named Dai, and is kind to animals in general. She even rescued a stray cat named Maiko who got caught inside Gozaurer when a battle began. When she graduates from Haku's elementary, she allows Dai to live with her from now onwards. As we transition, let's shed light on mecha and its relevance to our ongoing exploration. Unlike the previous Eldran series, both Gozaurer and Madnesaurer transform from the school itself rather than launch under the base of Shore Street, which means the facilities in school are usable, but also means that the armor are extremely weak. Let's now shift gears and explore through a critical lens, uncovering its strengths and weaknesses. Pilot Goro. This form is a special transportation formation of Moktura, Land Stego and Thunder Braccio when the mecha are launched. The only weapons in operation in this formation are the Thunder Cannons and Jet Falcon, which supply only basic defense. Once the reaches its destination, Goro triggers the Jet-Saurer formation procedure which disassembles the formation into the components has served its purpose each time. Specs. Length 48 meters. Weight 124 tons. Top flying speed Mach 7. Power output 530,000 PS. In this chapter, we'll be shedding light on and its role in shaping our understanding. Specs. Height 34.1 meters. Weight 38 tons. Ground movement speed 120 kilometers per hour. Top flying speed Mach 4.8. Power output 88,000 PS. People aboard operating. Pilot Kenichi. Support crew Masao, Yuka, Ikkyo, Tokoko, Yoji. Upon the entry of Grantups, Yoji transfers from the support crew to pilot Grantups. The first of Gozaurer's components, it is the only flight-capable component of the three. It mounts a pair of Gatling guns on the wings called the Brett Vulcans and a pair of slicing blades called the Ptura Slicers. It forms the arms and back and therefore the wings of Gozaurer. Brace yourself for an in-depth analysis as we navigate through and its far-reaching implications. Specs. Height 34.5 meters. Length 20.5 meters. Weight 40.5 tons. Ground movement speed 200 kilometers per hour. Top hovering speed 580 kilometers per hour. Power output 106,000 PS. People aboard operating. Pilot Hirami. Support crew Saikyō, Erika, Kumiko, Haru. Taro. Upon the entry of Magna Tyranno, Taro transfers from the support crew to pilot Magna Tyranno. The second of Gozaurer's components, it can attack with spinning back plates called the finned cutters and with missile launchers on the sides of the head called the Stego launchers. Its support crew is Saikyō, Erika, Kumiko, Haru, and Taro until Madnesaurer was found in a volcano. It becomes Gozaurer's main body. As we transition, let's shed light on and its relevance to our ongoing exploration. Specs. Height 58.8 meters. Length 35 meters. Weight 59.8 tons. Ground movement speed 160 kilometers per hour. Top hovering speed 460 kilometers per hour. Power output 270,000 PS. People aboard operating. Pilot Shinobu. Support crew Kazutaka, Shuzo. The twins Ikimi and Harumi. Goro. The third of Gozaurer's components. Its weapons are the mouth-equipped Braccio Needle Gatling Cannon and the back-equipped Thunder Cannons. It can also withdraw the legs into the body and ram with hover jets. It becomes Gozaurer's legs. Get ready for a thought-provoking discussion as we delve into and its impact on our understanding. Specs. Height 44.8 meters. Weight 120 tons. Ground movement speed 960 kilometers per hour. Top flying speed Mach 5.6. Power output 530,000 ps. The Nihongo of Moktra, Land Stego and Thunder Braccio triggered by Kenichi's Saurer changes combination function being initiated. Each component's pilots move to the head-based cockpit, where Kenichi seems to be the main pilot. The components' command centers form a single command center in the middle of S chest. Weapons and abilities. Weapons. Saurer Cannon Thunder Braccio's thunder cannons are employed as leg-mounted cannons after S formation. Saurer Bunker Moktra's feet serve as wrist-mounted lined launching claws after S formation, flipping away from view when not yet in use. Saurer Shield Land Stego's back butterflies open to serve as a shield. Saurer Blade S sword abilities. Saurer Magma Finish S finishing attack. If the Saurer Blade is not summoned before Kenichi triggers this ability with his Saurer Changes finisher activation function, the Saurer Blade is summoned during this attack. Saurer hold a special energy beam fired by the Saurer Shield over the course of S finishing attack that suspends the target in an energy suspension so that they cannot move, suspending them long enough for the finishing attack to be landed. Water Beam a chest crystal fired energy beam which, as its name symbolizes, enhances in strength and power when used underwater. Saurer Bomber a chest crystal formed crystal punched at the target. Spin Boomerang. The Saurer Shield is used as a boomerang. In the next portion, we'll be immersing ourselves in the realm of and examining its broader implications. Specs. Height 62.5 meters. Weight 100 tons. Ground movement speed 380 kilometers per hour. Power output 470,000 PS aboard. Pilot Taro weapons and abilities. Weapons. Tyranno Smasher a pair of torso-mounted laser cannons. Abilities. Tyranno Fire a breath blast of fire. Tyranno Smasher body ram attack. When the Saurer jet's Saurer formation procedure is triggered and Toro's mecha is combined with the jet at this time, Toro's mecha reshapes into. Its attacks are simple. Tyranno Fire fires a blast of fire from its mouth. Tyranno Smasher is a pair of torso-mounted laser cannons, and it bodily rams the enemy when performing Tyranno Smash. Let's now turn our attention to and examine its role within the larger context. Specs. Length 42.6 meters. Weight 98 tons. Ground movement speed 820 kilometers per hour. Top flying speed Mach 4.7. Power output 470,000 ps. Weapons and abilities. Weapons. Magna Blade S sword. Magna Cannon an arm-mounted cannon for each arm. Abilities. Magna Shot a blast from each Magna Cannon. Magna Bomber a chest crystal formed crystal is thrown at the enemy like an American football. The Nihongo of Magna Tyranno into a robot form. Brace yourself for an in-depth analysis as we navigate through and its far-reaching implications. A special transformation of Magnosaurer into a back-mounted firing weapon used by Go-Saurer, instantly forming. This is Phase 1 of Magnosaurer's finishing attack, Saurer Big Buster, for Phase 2. Taro, upon the being charged to fire, locks his Saurer changer into a special firing weapon similar interface which allows Taro to fire the blast. Note, this finishing attack can be fired even without combining with Go-Saurer, but this has been done only once in the anime, firing a huge blast from the cannons. It also is this mode initially during launch, as a part of the Saurer jet. When it is not engaging in battles, it was the part of the school which the stairs, as well as the cookery located. With the introduction of Magna Tyranno, the Saurer jet, when being launched, is now formed as the where Magna Tyranno is called as the during transportation. With that being said, let's now move on to specs. Height 70.5 meters. Weight 162 tons. Ground movement speed 280 kilometers per hour. Power output 680,000 PS aboard. Pilot Yoji weapons and abilities. Weapons. Trisaurer horn. The horns are launched and are attached to wires. Trisaurer launches a collection of various missile launching ports which fire their ammunition in a spread. Abilities. Tri-Saurer Arrow Energy Blast from the Tri-Saurer Horns. Tri-Saurer Fire a Breath Blast of Fire. Yuji Hayama is the single pilot who controls all of the three forms. This is the dinosaur mode of Gozaurer, and the initial mode it is gained in. It has several attacks in this mode. With that being said, let's now move on to specs. Length 50.3 meters. Weight 148 tons. Top flying speed Mach 8.2. Power output 680,000 PS. Weapons and abilities. Weapons. Grand Launcher. All missile ports available for use for this mode are fired in a spread. Grand Cannon. 4 cannons split as 2 pairs mounted on the hull, mounted with each cannon close to each other. Granted transportation mode when launched. As we transition, let's shed light on and its relevance to our ongoing exploration. Specs. Height 43.5 meters. Weight 148 tons. Ground movement speed 880 kilometers per hour. Top flying speed Mach 5.2. Power output 680,000 PS. Weapons and abilities. Weapons. Grand Launcher. The Tri-Saurer launchers Grand launchers used by Grand jet are usable in this form, used in a spread launch. Big Lancer S-bladed polearm. Abilities. Grand Bomber. A chest crystal formed crystal is thrown in a boomerang fashion at the enemy Sauer Grand/S finishing attack. When the Big Lancer is not summoned before Yoji's Sauer Changer triggers this attack, it is summoned during the attack itself. An energy-formed Triceratops mouth sends the Big Lancer to before flying to the sky and firing a special triangle-shaped energy-formed suspension shot to suspend the target long enough for the attack to be landed. Rides the Triceratops in the fashion of coming down, with the Triceratops scattering apart and gliding the rest of the way across the ground to make the attack. The hot-blooded evolution of Grantops into a robot form. In this chapter, we'll be shedding light on and its role in shaping our understanding. Specs. Height 70.8 meters. Weight 366 tons. Ground movement speed 1,620 kilometers per hour. Top flying speed Mach 9.8. Power output 1,800,000 PS. The Nihongo of Go-Saurer, Mechanization and Gozaurer. It requires all the Saurers to be on board. The pilots of all three units are transferred to head-based single-cockpit weapons and abilities. Weapons. King Launcher. Granted to Gozaurers. Tri-Saurer launchers. Ran launchers form shoulder-to-upper-arm missile launchers that launch a swarm. King Cannons. Gozaurers. Sauer Cannons. Magnisaurers. Magna Cannons and Gozaurers. Grand Cannons are now used either in a selection of which is used or a full blast of all of the cannons in chorus. King Blade S Sword. Abilities. King Fire. It releases fire from the Triceratops head on the chest. Can also use an energy blast variant called the King Titan. King Shot. Magnisaurus. Magna Shot is used as a foot-mounted attack. Sauer King Finish S finishing attack. In the last episode it can further combine with the every part of the skull which extra ammo are placed on, while the usable armaments are reduced to King Blade. The unit itself is called. Let's zoom in on opening and understand its implications. KEEPONDREAMING by Seraphima. Special cast performed. SAURERS version is played starting from the midway point onwards of the episodes. In the following segment, we'll be examining themes in greater detail. READYGO. Hot-blooded strongest King Gozaurer by SAURERS. With our curiosity piqued, let's embark on a dedicated exploration of ending and its fascinating intricacies. By Megami Hayashibara. The spotlight now falls on game appearances as we delve deeper into its details. Go-Saurer debuted as an entry in the Super Robot Wars series of video games in Super Robot Wars NEO for the Wii along with the other 3 Eldran robots. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update from my channel.